Hello everyone, thanks for being here this afternoon, and our big thanks for Reed Corporate for putting on what I'm sure we can all agree is another great event here on the Gold Coast. So I'm looking forward to talking to you about Astute Metals, about our story, and about how we're creating value through discovery, because it is a discovery that we've just made in the last couple of months in Nevada. So an Astute investment, it looks like, as was discussed, we're a diversified exploration company. We recently made a lithium clay discovery in Nevada, which is the lithium capital of North America, and we drilled 11 holes into quite a substantial 8-kilometre long soil anomaly. Every single one of those holes intersected mineralisation. Thick zones of mineralisation and big scale potential. So I think that this, at an aspirational level, has potential to be one of the biggest lithium projects, or one of the best lithium projects in Nevada. Our next project is called Georgina. It's located in the Northern Territory between the historical mining areas of Tennant Creek and Mount Isa, both historic copper gold mining areas. We've identified a really nice looking bullseye anomaly, strong IOCG flavour at a prospect called Leichhardt East, and it's adjacent to a drill hole that we drilled about a year and a half ago, and that intersected elevated copper and uranium up to 0.24%. But it looks like a halo kind of style intersection. We haven't hit nice dense rocks, so we're looking to go and drill test that one when we can. It's a really stellar target. And the last asset is the Governor Broome Heavy Mineral Sands Project. It's located in southwest WA, 101 million tonnes of JORC resources. We did a scoping study for this project in April, and that revealed that the project could potentially support a 10-year mine life with an NPV $139 million, 10% discounted, $91 million capex with less than 2 years payback. So quite attractive economics. So to create value from these projects, we're looking to advance that emerging lithium discovery. We've got drilling on the horizon, metallurgical test work, mapping, and more drilling. We'll be drill testing at the Northern Territory, that high impact copper gold target, in November. And we're actively exploring options for realising the value from the Governor Broome Heavy Mineral Sands Project. We've got an experienced board and management team with a track record for creating value. Just corporate overview, about $15.9 million market capitalisation. We have $2.3 million in the bank and 530 million shares on issue. The top 20 shareholders hold just under 69% of the company, and they're sticky, they like to tip in, and they've been continuing to do that when we've been raising capital over the last few years. And what better board would you have if you were advancing a lithium project in Nevada, but to include two ex-Pilbara Minerals directors. Tony Leibowitz, our chair, he was one of the founding directors of Pilbara, and during his tenure, that company went from a $2.5 million market cap to a $1 billion market cap. We've also got John Young, who was a technical director for Pilbara. As for myself, I'm a geologist, 18 years experience in mineral exploration and resource development. And Vince Fad, who has over 40 years experience in corporate finance and international M&A. Now, you may not have heard about lithium clays, or you may, but there's three main areas that they are particularly attractive. One, you can produce a battery product directly from lithium clay. You can produce battery-grade lithium carbonate. And when you do produce that, it's at a relatively low cost of production. When you compare the total costs to take a non-integrated spodumene operation, like we see many of in Western Australia, through to battery-grade lithium carbonate, the lithium clays actually do it at a significantly cheaper cost. And these projects have scale, so they're large-scale projects. They're on kilometre scale, thick beds of lithium-bearing clays, and with that comes economies of scale like cheaper mining rates, long mine lives, and thus quite attractive investment propositions. Now, it's no secret that the lithium market has been doing it tough as of late. So it's worthwhile reminding yourself of some words that a very famous investor once said, that the stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. So I'd ask you today, which side of the ledger do you think you sit on? Because it's worthwhile being patient. If you look to invest in a company like Astute, because the case for lithium, it remains strong. The long-term case does remain strong, and particularly so in the US. I mentioned lithium clays can produce a battery product at a good cost. This is a cost curve to lithium carbonate for various deposit styles and projects. The bars in grey to the right of the chart are non-integrated spodumene operations, and I've singled out Pilgangoora, so Pilbara Minerals, project there, and I've got that dashed line as the current lithium carbonate spot price. For comparison, you can look at the lithium clays, which are there in green, and you can see that even at this depressed pricing environment, they've still got a comfortable margin. Which brings us to our project, which is called Red Mountain. Now, this project was generated organically in the business. We went to Nevada and we sampled clays and outcrops and soils at various locations looking to stake a new project, which is exactly what we did. So we did this. There were no claims on here when we started. We staked a series of claims in August last year, and then we went out and did a big soil sampling campaign. Now the results from that provide that image there. So you can see the warmer the colour, the greater the lithium concentration in the soil. So we've got an 8 kilometre zone of anomalism there, up to 2.8 kilometres wide. That's huge. We went out and drilled 11 holes. Every single one of those holes intersected lithium mineralisation, all grade lithium mineralisation. And they were drilled over a 4.6 kilometre extent and thick intersections of up to 80 metres thick and good grades compared to other clay-hosted deposits in the region. So this is a grade tonnage plot of most of the more advanced lithium clay projects in Nevada. And so you've got grade on the vertical axis, so the higher you go up is the higher the grade. Now, you'll see that the average intersection grade that we've calculated for Red Mountain is actually above most of those projects and sitting below 1,000 ppm on average for a resource. Now, the size of these bubbles is their market capitalisation. So you can see some sort of relationship between grade and with how these projects are valued. The two ones above the Red Mountain average grade are ASX listed Ioneer, like a $350 million market cap, and Lithium Americas, that's Thacker Pass, and that's almost a $1.1 billion market cap in Australian dollars. So when we say we want this to be one of the best top 4 lithium projects in the US, that's the kind of valuation that we're thinking of. That's what we have in mind. And so we're right at the start of that journey. It's hard to convey scale. So when you say 4.6 kilometres, people think, oh yeah, that sounds pretty good. That's what 4.6 kilometres looks like. That image of the rig there, that's on the first hole drilled at the project. It intersected just under 60 metres thick of 1,300 ppm lithium. 4.6 kilometres away is the northernmost hole that we drilled as part of that project, and we drilled 9 holes in between. So what are our next steps? Well, we're looking to go out and do some diamond drilling next month. We'll do a couple of holes. We want to confirm our geological interpretation, and we'll combine that with some mapping and some initial metallurgical test work before we're going to have to go back in the new year, and that's when we're going to really get going with some drilling. So we'll look to infill and extend the known mineralisation. And ultimately, all going well, we'll be looking to put out a maiden mineral resource at the end of next year. Our next project is the Georgina IOCG project, located in a new copper-gold region identified by Geoscience Australia, just east of Tennant Creek. We have a couple of work programs planned for the next few months. We've got 2 geophysical surveys, one on the east and one on the west that you can see on that image there. And we're looking to go drill test the Leichhardt East target, which I'll talk a little bit more about. This is a spectacular target. We drilled a hole here 1.5 years ago. Didn't hit dense rocks full of iron oxides, but we got hints of it. And we also got hints of copper, up to about 600, 700 parts per million, and uranium up to 0.24% U3O8, which is actually pretty good mineralisation for uranium. But it's the significance of that. Uranium is a metal that tends to sit with IOCG deposits. We see this at Ernest Henry at northwest Queensland. We see this at Juno near Tennant Creek, and of course at Olympic Dam, it's actually a product. So the significance that that's there is that it's got a real IOCG flavour. Now we've identified these dense rocks, and it looks like a near-miss scenario based on our updated modelling that we've just drilled underneath this thing. So we're looking to go drill test this in November. Now this is a stellar target for more than that. It's also just like Geoscience Australia describe on their website. So that image on the left, there's a breccia wedged between two faults, and it's got copper and uranium and gold in it. Well, that image on the right is our target. Right in the middle there, Leichhardt East, wedged between two faults. We know there's elevated copper there. We know there's elevated uranium there. And the geophysics is telling us there's some really dense rocks there, which is just, it's an outstanding target. So we're looking forward to drilling, testing that once we get our permitting in later in the year. Which brings me to Governor Broome. Heavy mineral sands project located in southwest WA. It's in the heart of mineral sands country. 101 million tonnes of mainly measured and indicated JORC resources. It's located near 3 processing plants for mineral sands. And a scoping study that we put out earlier this year identified that the project could potentially support a 10-year mine life, produce heavy mineral concentrate on site, which could be shipped to one of these plants up the road and processed into heavy mineral products there. Now the result of this scoping study identified a pre-tax NPV of $139 million, IRR 54%, $91 million of capital expenditure, and about a 1.5 year payback. So that's pretty good. Now, this project is something we're actively looking to move to the next stage to realise value. Now, whether that's for sale or for joint venture or some other means, we're actively looking at that right now. And the company has an active news flow ahead of it. So this is the next 5 months. We've got drilling in Nevada at the Red Mountain project. We're going to have drilling at Georgina, testing that IOCG target, geophysical surveys, metallurgical results, geological mapping. So there's a lot going on. Now, why invest in Astute Metals? Well, we've discovered what looks like a very large lithium clay deposit in Nevada. It has huge scale potential, and it has good grade when you compare it to other projects in the region. You're very early in the value creation piece for Red Mountain, and the project is poised to be advanced through what, all else being equal, will be a lithium price recovery. On top of that, we've got the benefit of having 2 ex-Pilbara Minerals directors on our board. We've got a high potential copper-gold target to be tested before the end of the year, and we've got a largely de-risked heavy mineral sands project which we're looking to extract value from in the near term. Our major shareholders, our board and management are all substantial investors, and we all have skin in the game. And we've got a strong news flow outlook, and we're funded to deliver success. So thank you for your time today to listen. I can only say so much in 15 minutes. Please come and see me at the booth outside this afternoon or tomorrow. I'd love to tell you more about our great projects. Thank you.